The genre I have chosen for the study is war drama. The two films I will be analyzing are the Soviet 1985 film Come and See and the Japanese 1988 anime Grave of the Fireflies. My research question is, to what extent is cinematography used to convey how children of different cultures were affected by war? War drama is a type of film that centers around the impact of war on human existence. These films tend to have less action than traditional combat movies and often include elements of melodrama. War dramas are typically set either in a civil city, like in Grave of the Fireflies, or close to the front line, like in Come and See. Although the latter touches upon both settings, as the audience is shown not only the life of partisans, but also life of civilians, disturbed by German soldiers. These are two films with different cultural context, but a similar base. Both about 16-year-old boys who faced World War II that came to their home country, but they are on different sides of the barricade, one fighting against the SS soldiers, and the other surviving bombings in Imperial Japan. The geographical and historical context play a huge role in both films, as we observe two sides of the conflict from the eyes of two teenagers. Come and See is a Soviet war film directed by Alam Klimov. It depicts the Nazi occupation of Belarus during World War II and the genocide that the local population suffered. The film is known for its brutal and realistic portrayal of war and its emotional impact on the characters. Grave of the Firefly is a Japanese animated war film directed by Isao Takahata. The film is set in Japan during World War II and tells the story of two orphan siblings struggling to survive in the aftermath of the bombing of Kobe. Like Come and See, Grave of the Fireflies is a powerful and emotional film that offers a stark reminder of the human cost of war. Both films are critically acclaimed and considered to be among the greatest war films of all time. Both are incredibly powerful and moving, as they paint a picture of the traumatic experience children are faced in war. The first thing I want to talk about is character development in the narrative. Come and See begins with two children trying to dig up some sort of weapon on the beach. One of them is the main character, Flora. As the plot progresses, Flora leaves his home village to join the ranks of partisans, even though his mom is completely against it. The next time he returns, his family is massacred by the Germans. When he realizes that, he begins to blame himself for failing to protect them, and even attempts to commit a suicide. The loss of close ones is one of the main themes present in both films, and a trigger for Flora as well as Seita, the protagonist in Grave of the Fireflies. It begins with a bombing that separates Seita and his little sister Setsuko from their mother. Once the bombing is over, the city of Kobe is completely destroyed, with coal black corpses lying on the sidewalks. Seita finds his mother in the hospital, fatally burned but still alive. Despite the shock, his reaction is still rational. He even asks for hurt medicine for his mother. Unlike Flora, Seita has no time to grieve. He needs to take care of Setsuko and cheer her up without revealing the whole truth. The next time he returns to the hospital, his mother's corpse is being carried away. Such plot twists are crucial in the war drama genre to show the change of character caused by a traumatic event they go through. Their emotional response to it allows the audience to understand the character better, judging by their reaction. It shows that Flora was raised in a distant village, knowing very little about the war. On the other hand, Seita's father was a Marine soldier and raised his son accordingly. The directors give us somewhat of an understanding and background so the viewers could feel themselves in the characters' shoes. One of the main aspects of war dramas is transferring horror through mise-en-scène. In such films, mise-en-scène is often used to create a sense of realism and to convey the harsh conditions and intense emotions of what's happening. This can be achieved through the use of authentic props and costumes, as well as the use of natural lighting and location filming. Come and See is shot in a gritty and realistic style, using handheld cameras and natural lighting to create a sense of immediacy and to put the audience in the middle of the action. The setting, which is mostly the forests, swamps, and the ruins of war-torn villages, is used to create a sense of the hopelessness and despair felt by their characters. The director practically didn't use special effects. All the shootings, arsons, and bombings were real. Even the sick cow was shot at. All of it is mise-en-scène. Grave of the Fireflies is animated by Studio Ghibli, which is famous for its detailed backgrounds. The director effectively conveys the stark reality of war-torn Japan during World War II, nearly erasing the line between anime and feature film. making it seem like a legit documentary. The details allow the viewer to sink into the story and relate to the characters, from candy pieces stuck together to rice on the bottom of the pot. Incredible detailization allows the audience to believe in what's happening and experience the beauty of surroundings, as well as the irretrievable horror of the time. Symbolism is something that the viewer might not notice at first, but which significantly adds meaning to the narrative. Certain characters or objects may be used symbolically to represent specific ideas or themes, such as heroism, sacrifice, or the futility of war. Overall, symbolism in the war dramas is used to add depth and complexity to the story, and to help the audience better understand the impact of war on individuals and society. In Grave of the Fireflies, Suzuko digs a grave for insects that died overnight, and asks her brother why the fireflies die so quickly. That's an obvious and dark reference to the film's ending, when the two, especially Suzuko, die too quickly. The image of two fireflies fading in the dark is seen at least 2 times in the film. In Come and See, a stork appears when Flora and his companion are returning to the village. In Slavic culture, stork is a symbol of home and peace, but the bird is shown wet and miserable, hungry, just like the children. It follows them to the village, as if sensing their sincere kindness and innocence, but disappears as soon as the kids run by the pile of dead villagers. A more significant symbol is the figure of Hitler that plays the role of Antichrist. In the beginning of the plot, we only see his scarecrow. The enemy is far away. However, at the climax of the film, we are shown the real, living threat: Nazis in the village. Moreover, throughout the entire film, Flora hasn't once used his gun against a living thing. An exception is the last episode of the movie, when Flora shoots Hitler's portrait and the backward montage of fascist chronics is shown up until Führer's birth. The sequence of shoots is justified, but once we see little Hitler on his mother's lap in the frame, Flora freezes. He can shoot a baby. That is the hope for salvation. The director suggests that even in the face of overwhelming evil and cruelty, it is still important to strive for goodness. In any situation, you need to be good. Overall, child trauma in war settings in these films is conveyed through the powerful narrative, often including the loss of family. A horrifically realistic mise-en-scene that shows the chaos of war and symbolism that complements the overall image. Both films greatly contribute to the war drama genre, as they provide a unique perspective based on cultural and geographical context, and despite being on different sides of the conflict, both children suffer in the face of war. However, American planes in the Grave of the Fireflies, as well as Hitler and SS soldiers in Come and See, are only specific episodes of global evil. Thousands of Setsuko and Zetas died in the past wars and continue to suffer in today's conflicts, just like young soldiers, such as Flora, who are traumatized for life. The horror of any war will always affect soldiers, citizens, and especially children. War dramas, in the first place, are meant to remind people of the human cost of wars, and teach a lesson that we always need to be kind, no matter the cost. That is the key to our salvation, and hope for a peaceful future.